Oh. Hello everybody. I'm just having a break because I'm a bit bored and I need to wait for it to dry before I could do the little pink trim. Thought I'd have a snack and needed. And chat to you guys before we do the fun bit, which is the trim. So I did get a few responses. A couple of hours ago I said, ask me anything. And I thought I shall answer them now. Let's get to it. First question from Rosie_Brown. Hi Mole, what are you doing with your little table, colours, etc.? This is because on my stories you only saw like a tiny chink of it, but this is the table. It was like a grey colour, and then I painted it olive badly with the wrong paint, which is a running theme in my life. And now I've just painted it in Little Greens olive eggshell. That's actually Little Greens olive eggshell. And then this table's got a little lip, so I'm going to do a trim in Little Green Masquerade, which is kind of like a blush pinky colour. I think I might say at the beginning of the video that I have two personas, which is like pink, green and light. I mean, obviously I can do other colours, but this kind of light, fresh, olivey vibe. And then I also love dark, rich botanicals. So I bought two tables, both off Facebook Marketplace. This one was £10 and the other one I've got was £5. So my plan is to buy them cheaply. Oh my god, this could be interesting. Whoa! She's so trying to steal my limelight. Could you believe that? Can you actually believe that? May. Yeah. So my plan is to get like things as cheaply as possible off Facebook Marketplace and upcycle them and recycle them in something lovely. Because there's enough furniture in the world, enough unique individual furniture, that we don't need to buy homogenised, and we can buy things for free or cheap and second hand and upcycle them and make them special. That's the aim. Sam Lever says, will you be selling your table? Yes, I think so. If anyone's interested, please send me a DM. The aim is kind of to sell them on, but at the same time I tend to do them and often want to keep them. But the aim is to sell it. So if you're interested, if you like the look of the table when it's finished, obviously, send me a little DM and yeah, it is for sale if you want to buy it. Katie Whitmore says, do you intend of doing a lot of upcycling moving forward? The problem that I've got is I often have these ideas for like series or little videos that I can do or whatever, and I tend to start doing it and get like bored or distracted or get really busy doing something else. So the aim is, yes, I do intend on keep basically buying things and then upcycling them and selling them on, just as a fun little project and a fun little series. But it depends on time and stuff. I don't know the name of the lovely lady who runs this account, but the account is called The Fox Co. So hello. Do you find it hard to stay motivated whilst building Moco? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, motivated is a funny word. Like, I don't struggle with motivation in general. Like, I'm a very I try and be a very kind of get up and go positive kind of person. Like, don't stop, keep going, So, and also I don't struggle so much with motivation because I love what I do. So it's not like you have to force me or push me to work. That bit I don't struggle with at all. That motivation side of it. But I struggle with just like persevering sometimes, like emotionally, like I'm always looking for new angles and new clients and to keep myself sort of busy all the time. As it is at the moment, luckily I'm really lucky at the moment that I've got a couple of big townhouse projects on, and I've got another one in Clapham, and I've got like series and stuff to do, and I've got some really fun sort of collaborative, more social media stuff coming up in the future. But I really like to be really, really busy, and I just want to do interior design. So the thing I struggle with most is not being motivated, but you can get a few, oh my god, that car's gonna run me over, bear with. I'll come back to you in a second. Right, so I just had to move location. Apologies, we're just gonna go back to answering of the questions that you guys asked me. Where did I get to? Motivated. Oh yeah, I can't remember where I was with the motivated thing. Yeah, I just struggle to not keep motivated, because that implies that I don't want to keep working, because I'm always working and I'm always motivated and I always want to get up and do stuff, and I always want to get up and paint that wall or paint that table or email that person or reply to that client or do those mood boards. You know, that's not a case of, oh, I struggle to get up and go kind of thing. But yeah, I do struggle to find new clients. Like, I think it's a thing, if I'm really transparent, that a lot of interior designers face, that you want to bring people to you, but it's kind of hard to find people. As I said, I've got enough jobs on at the moment, but being a freelance and keeping that steady flow of people is terrifying. I always want like consistency, and it's quite scary. So that I struggle with. And yeah, I struggle with getting like no's, because you do get no's here and there. Like, would you like to collaborate, or would you like to come for an interview, or just bits and pieces, you know? And you get a lot of no's sometimes, but you've got to keep going. You know, building a business is not going to happen overnight. It's going to be tricky, and I'm really lucky. Like, it's going as well as it can so far, and I'm in a really lucky position that I can just like chase my dream, and I know what my dream is. So I'm lucky, but if I bang my head against a wall long enough, it will eventually fall down. That's the plan. Any tips on where to pick up lovely bits for upcycling? Upcycling? That is a word. That sounded wrong. / keeping for your home. To be honest, I basically just go on Facebook Marketplace. I'd love to say, you know, there's loads of other places. I mean, obviously antiques fairs and reclamation yards are always good, but I'm quite lazy when it comes to going out and sourcing things. So I like to look at it online and then know that it's 5 minutes away and go and get it locally. Plus, you know, local is kind of good and nice. So yeah, I tend to get all of my really cheap steal bargains off Facebook Marketplace. I think it's great. eBay is good. For example, eBay is great because there's a lot of businesses that do outlets and stuff on eBay, like Graham and Green, for example. I've got some amazing massive lights that are normally really expensive for 2 clients' houses now, and they're like 70% off on Graham and Green outlet because they're like slightly damaged, or, you know, just something really minor. But these lights that would normally be like £1,000 are, you know, 300 quid, 200 quid or something. So stuff like that's really good for eBay. But I find for like cheap, snappy deals, Facebook Marketplace is a really good one. Fiona, okay, this girl is called Fiona, and it's just got some flowers. She put, love your cats, what are their names? I have 4 cats. They all begin life with, which is a lot, they all begin life with beautiful names, and then they always get like adapted into something a bit shit. So we have my oldest, best, most fabulous cat in the whole world, which I've had since I was literally, I don't even know how young, like tiny, is Flea. She's the big ginger one, but her official name was Ophelia, which got shortened to, the dogs are barking again, which got shortened to Fee, which then just turned into Flea over time. So now she's Flea. And then we have Betty, who is the second oldest, and she's basically she's like my mum's cat. She's really weird and quiet and doesn't ever talk to anyone and locks herself in her bedroom and is very introvert. We call her Bucket now as well. I don't know why, but she just went from Betty to Bucket. I can't even really remember the story. So we've got Flea and Bucket, beautiful names. And then we have Olive, who, when we bought her, she was grey. And then it's a thing in cats which I've never heard of before, but it is a thing, that if when they're born, the mum is distressed or like not particularly healthy, because we got her from someone local, they are born grey, but they like get their colour, so they're born grey because they haven't got their colour yet, and then their colour develops. So we bought her and she was like a grey fluffy kitten, and then she turned black. So we have Betty and Olive, and my dad can never tell them apart because we suddenly ended up with like 2 black cats. So we now call her Boliv because she's like a combination of the two, which we then thought was mean because we wanted to give her an identity. So we're now trying to make a conscious effort to keep calling her Olive again, because that's actually her name. And then the most recent addition is the one who rudely interrupted my video a minute ago, May. She's really little, she's only like 2, so her name is May, but that gets broadened into May, Mayos, Mayonnaise, Mayhem, Maybelline, Skippy, and then we often call her E because she makes that noise a lot. So she goes by many names. I bet you're gonna wish you never asked that question. That was very long-winded. Ben_Brown, which paint brands do you use the most? I use Little Green a lot. Comfort. Beautiful, and these were kindly sent to me, so thank you so much, Little Green. Yeah, I use Little Green mainly. I think, particularly as I said, this olive colour is my literal favourite colour in the whole world, and I haven't found anywhere where they do an olive green so like true and pigmented that I love so much. So Little Green are really good for really lovely colours. Obviously, I don't think they're the cheapest of paint brands, but it's worth it. They're really good quality and really good colours. So ice cream truck again. I've also recently just started using coat paints. In a client's house, she loved a few of the colours from there, so we're going with coat for there. And then sometimes I just get them mixed at like Valspar, B&Q if I need a direct colour match. So again, in that client's house that I'm doing, she's got a bed that needs to exactly match the colour of the wall behind the bed, so it all kind of blends in this cave kind of way. So then I just go to Valspar and get it laser checked and colour matched at B&Q. I just don't know which one to answer next, but I will get through all of them. There's quite a few, but we'll get a wriggle on. Okay. Jade said, what is the best paint products to use on wood? I think anything with a sheen. So, I mean, I'm learning a lot. I mean, as you'll see from this video, I'm learning a lot as I go along. But it basically needs to be, I don't think matte emulsion, I used to paint loads of furniture in matte emulsion just to give it a quick kind of colour. But I think anything which is eggshell or even a gloss, or even a satin sheen, just anything with a bit of a sheen to it, because basically it's forgiving and it's more sturdy and hardy. So if you're painting furniture like wood and tables and things, you want something a bit more strong. So yeah, I would use something with a sheen. And as I say, I'm learning as I go, so I'm probably not the best person to ask, but it is all in the prep. Whether I can often be bothered with the prep or not, that is on me. But obviously, you know, sanding, priming, cleaning, painting, sealing, the whole kit and caboodle is obviously what's going to give you the best finish for wood. And I recommend you do it properly because, you know, I just do. Oh, Tallulah Jane. Tallulah, that is my favourite name in the whole world. Beautiful. Where did you get your dungarees from? These are from Urban Outfitters. I got them when I was 14. I actually confirmed this information with Abby Ann Davis earlier because she said, I have the same dungarees as you. And I was like, no way, I got these when I was like 14. She said, yeah, from Urban Outfitters. I got mine when I was 18. And she's 4 years older than me, so that clarified it. They used to be dead baggy on me. They're not now, obviously, because that was many a year ago. So yeah, they are from Urban Outfitters, but I'm afraid they're absolutely ancient. And I kept them pristine for years, and then literally last year I was like, they're going to become my painting dungarees. So yeah. But as I say, the brand is boxy, so I'm sure, I mean, their Urban Outfitters vintage, so I'm sure you could probably get another pair from a vintage place if you have a look. Okay. Then we have 2 from JNA Design Studio. Lovely human. Where do you get your inspiration from? I speak about this quite a lot. It depends. It depends on, like, if, for example, I'm doing inspiration for, like, the trolley, or for you're sat on my drinks trolley right now, by the way, which I decided to keep because it's so handy to move stuff around. Anyway, for my drinks trolley, I got, like, a brief, so obviously, if you get a brief, then inspiration tends to come kind of quickly. Like, particularly if I've got a client, I just talk to them, learn very quickly what they're sort of into, kind of think I can connect with them on an emotional level. But joking apart, they've normally got like an interest or, you know, a specific style that they like. That, so for example, with a client, say, you know, you meet a client and they're really passionate about travel, you might get a big bit of art, you might get a giant world map, which is like vintage and really cool to go in their study, and then you can pull out all the colours from the maps. You might do sort of like soft linens and like powdery blues, and you know, so that sort of starts you off with your colour palette, and then you can build the textures and layer it from there. So you just need one starting point, whether that's an idea or an interest or a fabric or a bit of art, and then you can just kind of pull out from that and build from that. When it comes to, that's, you know, obviously if I have a client, if I have a brief, it's generally quite sort of easy because you get a rough guideline, and I tend to sort of, something generally tends to kind of ping to mind, or I sit and talk to my mum about stuff. I think one of the most important things is, if you're ever, you know, feeling non-inspired, or you've got a lack of creativity or whatever, you just need to talk to more people who are creative. It's been wonderful for me that I've been completely blessed to have I've got a really creative arty group of friends, and at school and things we always were like building each other up and bouncing ideas off each other, and my best mate Rory, we've always, like, you know, he did fashion and fashion illustration stuff at uni, and I've always been doing interior design, and we literally would meet up regularly and talk about like music and fashion and what inspires us and stuff, which sounds really naff. Obviously that wasn't the plan. It's like, let's get together and have a discussion about art, but it kind of always went that way because we're both passionate, and then it would just build and grow, and you'd gain inspiration from that. And finally, for colour I mean, then I've just got my own taste. Like, as I say, for these 2 tables, I love pink and green, I love dark and botanical, so that was like easy, just I'll do that. And then for colour palettes, I often look to Mother Nature, which I've spoken about many a time, because it's really easy. Like, if it's good enough for Mother Nature, it's good enough for me. There's loads of flowers and crazy colours on butterflies and things that you would never put together, like bright yellow and lilac or purple or aubergine sort of thing, and I wouldn't ever think to put them together, but I might see them in like a flower and go, oh my god, that looks amazing, and then you can bring it out of that. So very long-winded, I apologise. And your second question was, if it was your last day on earth, sorry, soz, you're done. what would your last 3 meals be? Okay. Oh, you're talking like breakfast, lunch and dinner. My brain went start a main dessert. Oh, okay. This is one of them questions that I need like hours to think about, but we don't have hours, and I've been rambling for too long anyway. So for breakfast, I would have fluffy, thick pancakes with tons of salted butter and tons of maple syrup or golden syrup, probably maple syrup, stacked. We want them stacked, and a boring cup of jasmine tea. It's my fave. For lunch, this is such a stressful question. For lunch, I am going to cheat, don't hate me, and have tapas, which basically means I can have everything. Tapas is my favourite type of food in the whole world, so I would just get like some meatballs, stroke chorizo, some garlicky chili prawns, some bruschetta. Done. That would be my lunch. Bread, prawns, and maybe like some chorizo or something. Mickey, tapas bits. Beautiful. Anything smothered in garlic and bits of chili and Spanish food would be delightful. And I would have that with some sort of cocktail, because I'm going to die. Thank you, J&A Design. So I'd have that with like a mojito, a lovely fresh mojito. And for dinner, I would have really basic but really lovely pesto chicken. So basically, you could literally give me a pile of mud and smother it in pesto, and I would be a happy gal. So yeah, I'd have pesto, like chicken with pesto, parmentier potatoes, a few green beans, and a very, very, very strong cocktail. Even like, I'll tell you what, I'll just have like vodka lemonade, but this much vodka and this much lemonade, because again, I'm going to die. And if I got a dessert, I'd have anything salted caramel, I think. Yeah, anything sweet, to be honest, or a gooey chocolate brownie. Yeah, that's what I would do. It sounds like a good day, doesn't it? Oh, makes me so hungry. Anyway, this isn't even a question, but square photos of stuff, which is a tongue twister, who's renovating. I spoke to this guy before. He's renovating a lovely bungalow, I think, near me. And anyway, he said books on bookcases with spines to the wall, and just done the sick emoji, which it's like, well, I suppose it's like books on bookcases with spines to the wall. Ugh. So it is a question. There is a question mark. Obviously, I don't love that aesthetic. However, I did see one photo recently that made it look really good. And if you've got loads of... The problem I've got with books is, like, obviously you want to pick books which are just really pretty because they look lovely on a bookcase or a coffee table, but they might not be the books you want to read. I read thrillers, and they're always like a black cover which just says like Mark Edwards on it, and they're paperback, and they're not pretty, they're not aesthetic in any way, shape or form. So I would put them on a bookcase because I'm not that, uptight, but if you wanted your bookcase to look beautiful and styled, maybe turning the spines to the wall isn't the worst thing. No, it is. Okay, I don't want just people to unfollow me because they think I'm an awful person, so I will insert a picture somewhere if I can find it. If I can't find it, I'm just doing this for no reason, maybe. But I did see a photo that made it look kind of okay, but generally, we don't rate it. Where are your dungarees from? From Ali Parsons, my friend. She just got married. I saw her yesterday, actually. Hello, love. I've covered this. They're from Urban Outfitters 4 years. No, not 4 years ago. When I was 14. I'm now 24. So 10 years ago. Since the show, are you getting... Sorry, this is from Mr. Santibird. Mr. Santibird. Mrs. Oh my god, right, no, hang on. It's because it's all... I'm so sorry. It's because it's all one word. So you could read this as Mr. Santibird, or it's actually Mrs. Antibird. Mrs. Antibird. Because you could read it as Mr. Santib. Oh, I am going to stop. It's Mrs. Santibird. Mrs. Antibird. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Anyway, since the show, are you getting more private commissions? Yes, I am. Not as many as I would like, but yes. Obviously, my exposure did go up since the show because I had before the show, my business had literally only just started. I'd been working full-time as an interior designer, but within a company, and I'd only done a few sort of private on the side interior design freelance jobs, and now I'm doing it full-time. So obviously that was a leap of faith, really, to go on the show and be like, okay, this is my chance, I'm gonna go freelance full-time. So yes, I obviously have got more commissions, and more people have been brought my way, but I want to be busier, and I want to have more projects on, and I want to do more houses and meet more clients and do more commercial projects and more. So, tell your friends that I exist, please. I'd be very grateful. And the last question is from, let me just read this one right because I've got PTSD from the last one. Ange Paints Faces. Oh, I've followed her. Stunning makeup artist. My god, she's awesome. Non-interior related, where do you get your jewellery from? So I presume she's not talking about the jewellery I've got on today, because this is actually a really cute story. This is from my friend Chelsea. We went to her house for a really chill, drinky evening a couple of weekends ago, and she found a box of all her old jewellery from when we were like literally at school, like 12 to 15 or something, and it had in like, I'm a 1997 baby, if you know you know, it had like the Jesus bracelets, them loads of Pandora, those funny little ones which I think were meant to be like fake Swarovski. They were like little diamond balls with like a black kind of rope thing that tied it all together. She bought those headbands with the plaits, the plaited headbands. So anyway, we played dress up. We went through her old jewellery, and I did my hair in like the swooping fringe with the headband, with the Jesus bracelets that come up to here. I don't even know what trend that would have been or what era, but if you know, you know. And we decided that I was going to keep this cute little one, which has now got green paint on it, but I'm going to wash that off, as like a friendship bracelet. So that's that. This cuff I wear all the time is from the Great Frog. I've had it forever. I got it for I say forever. I got it for my 18th birthday. It's a big 18th birthday present. I've coveted it forever. And generally, a lot of my rings are from the Great Frog. I've actually got a link in my highlights to where all my jewellery's from. But yeah, a lot of them. I've got one from my big skull's from the Great Frog. My skull on here is from the Great Frog. I can't remember where my scarab's from. I'll have to put it somewhere. I'll remember and put it somewhere. Yasmin Everly? Did I just make that up? Anyway, it's beautiful. My scarab is one of my favourites from there. I've got rings from Bloody Mary Metal and Sketchy Bones Collective. They're really great. Rat Betty as well. I've got a stacker from there which has got like a little face and a mouth and a anyway, I've linked it in my stories, but I get them from all over. I have got one as well which I got really recently with my mate Rory in London, which is just like a little twisty snake one. That was just from one of them, really cool like just Camden shops where they do like sterling silver jewellery next to the boho trousers with incense, but the jewellery's like proper stainless steel and is like £15, as opposed to if you went to a posh jeweller it would be like 200 quid, so all over. But I've got a link in my highlights, and I'll put something somewhere, or I'll just reply to your thing on here actually, my love, and give you a list of where I get all my jewels from and all my rings and things. That was quite a long chat, and I'm just looking at my camera praying that my storage didn't fill up whilst I was talking. And because it's been such a long chat, the table behind me is dry, so we can now, the next plan is to mask it up and do the fun pink trim. See you in a sec. Let's get together and have a discussion about art.